guess what? Here it comes. It's really hot. It's not even that it's hot outside because it's actually a really crap day. It's just that the amount of effort it takes to prepare this type of video and the fact that the light is 1,000 degrees makes me sweat off 2 stone, even though I haven't lost 2 stone clearly, but it feels like it. So I apologise for the amount of sweatiness from me in every single one of my cooking videos. Hello everyone and welcome to another cooking video. Today I am going to be making another weird ingredient recipe. Now if you don't know, I have decided to venture out of my cooking realm, comfort zone thing, and I am going to include weird ingredients in some of my recipes. Last time I did a cooking video we did beetroot cupcakes. And today's mystery ingredient is Coke. I'm just going to pop this here because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to have the Coca-Cola logo in the video, but who cares? So today I am going to be making Coca-Cola cake. Apparently, obviously apart from the taste element that it's going to leave in the cake, it's supposed to help with moisture. It's supposed to help it be extra moist. Sorry about my hair, it's a mess. I'm hot and I'm pressured and I'm stressed. Anyway, so I got this recipe from BBC Good Food, or it could just be BBC, I think it's just BBC, and it was from James Martin. If you don't know who James Martin is, very popular chef here in Britain. I'll be linking that recipe I found down below, and shout out to James Martin, thank you very much for your recipe. I'm going to try it. And I do have to say though, it is an unusual recipe. I've actually never made a cake like this before. It involves the hob or stove, which is, you know, danger zone for us. If it goes wrong, it's your fault, James. I have my baking equipment and ingredients and a tin. You can use whatever tin you want. I'm using a square tin purely for the fact that I bought it a few weeks ago and haven't tried it yet. So you will need 250 grams of self-raising flour, 300 grams of golden castor sugar, 250 grams of unsalted butter, a pinch of baking soda, 250 millilitres of Coke, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and finally 2 eggs. To kick things off, we're going to measure out our Coke. This Coke I bought on Friday of last week, so it's been sitting in my fridge for 5 days. So we're going to measure out 250 mils of Coke. And a sip for me. You should be left over with this amount for the icing later on, and we have measured our 250 millilitres of Coke. Don't spill it. Now let's move on to making the actual Coke. To start off with, in a large-ish bowl, we're going to sift together all of the dry ingredients. That's the soda, the sugar, the cocoa powder, and flour. I don't have a sieve that's good enough for this because it broke, as you're probably well aware by now. So I might just have to use this, which is a pasta strainer. Wow, that hasn't worked at all. I mean, it is sieving, but it's not as fine as you want it to be either. And also, it's just falling up tight. Oh, that's so satisfying, watching the sugar go down. Oh my goodness. I'd also like to mention before Karen, I am on a tilt, and that's annoying me, and it's probably annoying you as well, because I came to my camera when I came to film this, and it had a no battery, so I have to put it in a place where I can charge it, and that's the only place where you currently are that can charge it, so very sorry for the tilt. Now the recipe just has a pinch, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. But my pinches are not very big, my hands don't fit in still, so I'm doing about 3 pinches. I am not using an electric mixer in this recipe, because I don't know this recipe very well and it seems quite unusual to me, so I'm not going to mess it up by doing anything wrong. So all I'm going to do now is just mix with a whisk. I hate this whisk. It's plastic. It doesn't. And until it's well combined. And now we shall be moving over to the hole. Let me just turn this on. Which one is this one? Okay, I'm going to put it on medium high, and we need 250 grams of unsalted butter because using self-raising flour, so you don't need salt. And what we need to do apparently is melt it in a pan gently. Oh my god. It said gently. I should have broken this up, shouldn't I? Let's be honest. That really smells. Now, it doesn't say when to add in the Coke or you should put it all in together. But for me, I don't particularly want to heat the Coke up because it's got loads of sugar in it and it already is caramelised sugar, and I don't want it to burn because I have a feeling that if I put this in now, the Coke, it's going to burn. So I'm going to wait till this is completely melted, take it off the hob, then add the Coke. There is a big difference between using softened and melted butter. If you use melted, the consistency of the cake will not turn out right. But I'm assuming that the recipe is, you know, been tried and tested, so when in Rome, I'm not in Rome. Melted butter looks amazing, but no, it's scalding hot and I don't like the smell. I'm going to remove the heat, take it off the heat now, and just move it to the side. Let the residual heat melt the rest of the butter, and then I'm going to add the Coke. It doesn't say to let it cool, it literally just says melt the butter with the Coca-Cola gently in a pan, then add the dry ingredients to the pan. I know you can't see this, but I don't have to. The butter is slightly... What? Am I echoing? Why am I echoing? Oh! Why am I echoing? I've never echoed before. Okay, well the butter is slightly warm. It's, I've just touched it with the finger. It's warm, not scalding, so I think the Coke will be alright. I'm going to add the Coke. It's fizzing. Just give it a quick stir. Stir it, stir it, stir it, stir it. And now we're supposed to add the dry ingredients to the pan. I'm just going to use this bowl though because I don't want to mix it in the pan. It didn't say in like thirds or anything, so let's just hope that it goes alright. It's almost solidifying. Is that supposed to happen? Do you know what? I should have just made a normal cake and added Coke to it. Why did I have to do this weird recipe? I'm just gently mixing it with a wooden spoon. I don't know what utensil I'm supposed to use. But this will do. So, the dry ingredients, when I poured it into the wet ingredients, I'll give you a description, started solidifying and then it's become a mush, and now there's a mixture of mushy stuff and watery stuff. Looks a bit like stick. Oh, it's coming together. That looks like a bowl of stick. It's fine. It's like fats and other liquids. They're separate, don't they? Like oil and butter and like mayonnaise and stuff. So the Coke has separated from the butter, and the butter, because it's melted, has separated from the rest of the mixture. I'm just going to give it a quick whip. So, but if I just added melted butter, I'd be curious to see if this was as wet, because obviously the Coke is supposed to improve the moisture and make the cake more moist. So we need to add the vanilla extract and the eggs. I would like to point out that I have forgotten to get the milk. So let me just get the milk. Ow! 125 ml of milk. that goes in. Next is a vanilla extract. You need about a teaspoon. I'm just going to eyeball it because I don't have a teaspoon on. There we go. And next the 2 eggs. One egg break. The egg's not breaking. Break egg. The milk has suddenly turned chocolatey. Chocolate milk. I suppose instead of cocoa powder, you could just use chocolate milk. It would be really, really strong chocolate milk. Now, obviously, Coca-Cola is a carbonated soft drink. So I'm curious to see whether this will add any rise or aeration to the cake, because you know, carbonation, blah, blah, blah. So now let's pour it into the top one. Not the worst cake batter I've ever made, let's be honest. Once you've preheated your oven to gas mark 4, which I already did, you put it in a tin and you bake for 40 minutes on gas mark 4. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in the middle shelf and pray to the Lord. Okay guys, we are back. It is many, or I wouldn't say many hours later, it's probably like an hour or 2 hours later. So here's what happened while I was away. I took a bit of time to charge my camera. Luckily, nothing drastic happened. I did almost think that we hadn't got any icing sugar, but I found some. But also the cake is out, it's cooling, and I've set a time of 15 minutes because we're going to add, basically we're going to make the icing hot and pour it on it hot, so it's like a fudgy thing. And it's best served with cream, which I didn't yet. This, it said 40 minutes on gas mark 4. I actually, this cake actually took 20 minutes extra to cook because it's a very soupy batter. It's not thick. It's very, very watery. It took actually, all in all, probably an hour to cook. And even now, it's still quite wobbly. It's not very sturdy. So, so now we're going to make the icing. And for the icing, you will need 200 grams of icing sugar, 2 tablespoons of Coca-Cola. In this pot, we have 2 heaping tablespoons of cocoa powder and 200 grams of unsalted softened butter. To make the icing is very simple, and it is again something I've not really done before because I don't really make icing in this way, and I'm really bad at making icing anyway. So to make the icing, we actually need to go to the stove, and what we need to do is melt the cocoa powder and butter together, bring it to a boil, then add it to the icing sugar. And I'm just going to quickly add in. I'm just going to do it now. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of Coke. Can you see my face? If you're not, then oh well. Oh, well, that was more than. I'm just going to mix that together. Just going to help the butter melt a bit by breaking it up. This looks really gross. Trying to get it so it doesn't stick and burn to the sides, but I don't want it to be bitter and gross because chocolate can burn quite easily and the sugars in the Coke will burn quite easily. So I need to constantly mix. So I'm going to turn it down a touch. So much burn. Butter's virtually melted, and obviously you have some Coke left over for you to enjoy. Bringing it to the boil basically means just making it bubble. Once you see bubbles, you've brought it to a boil. It has to reach a certain temperature. I'm going to keep stirring. This smells very weird, almost like brownie batter with a bit of alcohol. It smells alcoholic, I'm not going to lie. Oh, ow, ow, ow. And as I thought, the butter is separating from the Coke and cocoa powder. I'm slightly confused. Okay, right, we are bringing this to the boil, and I say we have brought it to the boil. Is this supposed to happen? Basically what has happened is, I don't know if you can see that, the butter and the congealed Coke and cocoa powder have separated. So that's gross. Was I supposed to be there? I am a bit worried because this doesn't look good. It looks like melted butter and someone's melted some chocolate and stuck it in it. Like, it looks like feces in oil. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more. I really don't know if this is right or not. So, okay, so it's not very hot anymore. That's gross. All it says now is just to add this to this and keep beating it until it's your desired consistency. What I don't know is if I'm supposed to add all of this, including the separated bits. I'm just going to add it all. It looks like dog poo. I'm just not convinced that it's icing at all. Oh, actually, you know what's going together? Like a big lump of slop. The cake is still very warm, and I'm just going to give this a bit of extra beating. It's definitely the icing is the right consistency now. The only problem I think is that it's very gelatinous. It's still warm, the icing is weird. Here there's dog hair, just to put somewhere. Here is the cake, doesn't it? It actually looks really nice. I'm just going to cut myself a little piece off the corner. So here is my slice of cake, and let's give it a try. Oh wow, that is extremely gooey in the middle. The moisture in this cake is very high, so the code did its job. Let's try it. Wow. Oh wow. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's really nice. Oh wow. Wow, that's like a really fudgy, uncooked brownie. You don't really taste the Coke. You taste a sort of, it's almost bitter but not bitter, because I think the Coke burnt a little bit in there. But the cake is so gooey and so moist. And the icing, although again it's slightly ever so bitter, but you don't really taste that much. Aside from the obvious thing that the cake is, I'd say kind of undercooked, but it was burning on top, so I didn't want to do anything. The cake is slightly undercooked, and the icing I don't think turned out the best. That's a pretty darn nice cake, that is. James Martin, I have to commend you on this, because this is bloody fantastic. This should be the perfect cake if you want to make something. For example, if you did really bad on your GCSEs or A-levels, this would be the perfect cake to just get home, you're feeling fed up, you've had a long hard day, you want to make a cake. Perfect cake for you to eat by yourself. So if you've got someone who likes Coke and chocolate, although you can't really taste the Coke, make this for them because I want it. Thank you very much for watching me eat this cake and making it, even though it was eventuated. It's basically like a chocolate fondant, that's how I can describe it. The icing is starting to separate, but just disregard that, just doesn't matter, because it's really nice. So, make sure you go check out the recipe on BBC by James Martin. That was a very nice recipe. I think I did it slightly wrong, but next time I know what to do now. And I hope you make this. If you make it, please send me a picture, comment, like, subscribe, other things you want me to make with the usual ingredients. And I'll see you in the next one, because I'm going to go and eat the whole thing to myself. Going now, I'm just going to take this with me.